Well, the first three albums were referred to as a trilogy. Can you explain maybe what each album, what role did it play in the trilogy? For example, the Parachutes album.
I think it's hard to, you can't really conceive of, we didn't start out to write three albums that were part of a trilogy. I think you can only look back at it retrospectively and call it that. And so, I don't know, they're just parts 1, 2 and 3, I suppose. There's no more thought has gone into it than that. They were just as we wrote them at the time, and I think the trilogy idea is more about putting an end, or putting some brackets around those three albums, rather than painting them as some kind of grandly conceived plan. It's just it's just more about, this is the end of this and this is the start of something new.
It helped us mentally feel that we were doing something new by saying we've got to leave behind any of the ideas and techniques that we used on the first three albums. We had to leave behind, and we had to start this kind of revolution to kind of start something new.
Do you have an example of one, trick or maybe one thing that you did for the first three albums that you, talked about and said to each other, we aren't going to do this anymore and we're going to do something new? Do you have an example? Maybe songwriting-wise or recording-wise?
I think maybe the biggest thing is, I think Chris is not using nearly as much falsetto in his voice on the new record, which was, I think, probably a conscious decision to try and, because that was a kind of a signature, I suppose, of our band. And so, I think he made a conscious effort to try and widen his vocal.
But did you talk about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think so. I think he was very adamant that he didn't want to do as much falsetto, definitely.
And so maybe one other thing that you discussed before?
Well, we just tried to break, conventions. So a lot of the songs on the new record, they don't fall into a traditional verse-chorus structure.
Yeah.
They're kind of, a lot of the songs that come from different sections which have been put together, or it's just not trying to do anything conventional really. Which I think we stuck to some very kind of well-trodden paths on the first three records, and I think we started with the help of Brian Eno to push into new territory on this one.
So can you say that maybe there's on this album that songs were maybe combined from 2 or 3 different parts from others, from songs you started out?
Yeah.
So do you have an example maybe of one song that you say, initially we started out for a new song, but...
Yeah, well, there's 2 songs that come to mind really. 42 is a song which has 3 very distinct sections which are pieced together, and also a song called Death and All His Friends. So there are 2 songs which would be big examples of that. 42
was conceived as a song with 3 parts, but Death and All His Friends was only ever a song with 2 parts originally. And then we had the quiet bit at the beginning, which used to be a song called School. Was kind of, we decided to add that on. So sometimes it happens that you think right from the beginning this is going to be a song like this, 1, 2, 3. And other times you have the idea of combining 2 songs and putting them together.